Hi, this is Justine Oates, and this is my vlog for my reflective journal assignment to wrap up the fall 2010 YouTube for Educators course. I'd like to start my vlog by discussing some of the important things I've learned this semester. The most important thing I've learned semester in regards to YouTube is really just the benefit that it has to offer to bring experiences and perspectives and opportunities into my classroom. YouTube allows students to access the world around them, whether it's taking a field trip to, some historical place in Colorado, like the Mesa Verde National Monument area, or taking a trip to a gold mine in the mountains. Really, what YouTube allows is that kids can break down the walls of their classroom and reach out, whether it's across the state, across the country, across the world, to learn about other cultures, other people, other places. YouTube, through this use of the videos and other experiences from other people to bring to the kids are also getting a sense of perspective. So it's not just about places, but it's about the people, the social aspects of the world we live in that the kids can really benefit from through the use of YouTube within the classroom. So beyond, breaking down the walls of traditional schooling, it also allows, as educators or as schools, to have a different form of communication with families at home. Something I learned through one of my assignments was creating a home tutorial video for parents. We're bound by language barriers here and socioeconomic barriers, and parents can't necessarily get into school all the time, to help or read. We have a lot of parents that don't read, so providing videos to go home that teaches the parents what we're doing in school so they can help support the students at home is just another method of it. A couple things I did learn about looking out for include the attention to copyright. I mean, as having one graduate degree under my belt, I was very aware of plagiarism in writing, through all the report writing and whatnot that I've done. However, it looks completely different on YouTube. So when I'm thinking about using, music or using parts of videos or anything like that, all of that discussion was probably the most beneficial beyond just the creation of YouTube videos and the purpose there that I found. And I find that extremely important as I bring that information to my kids. They're told don't plagiarize in their writing, but really what does that look like through media also, especially with how media is changing so much in their everyday lives. Second thing is that I learned is just the attention to public versus unlisted and private video. I'm still playing with that, but I'm realizing the value of sometimes turning things public, and that kind of the need to keep things unlisted when I'm dealing with kids. So that's something I still continue to play with, really figuring out what's the purpose of my video and who really needs to see it and why. The second and third requirements of this reflective journal assignment revolve around how my teaching was impacted and what I've learned through the experiences, and did I or will I use the projects in my teaching. And I'm just going to put those together because they both go hand in hand, and that everything that I've learned I'm putting immediately into use in my classroom. I tried to take, when I'm choosing my topics and focuses of my projects, I tried to take ideas that I could immediately put in my classroom. For example, through the screencast video on, my kids created a tutorial video for their parents on some of the movements and language that we're using in our literacy phonics groups. And so I experimented with that for the assignment, and that video has already been closed captioned, published, and sent home on DVDs for families. And the feedback that I'm getting from that is extremely good and reassuring that that was a good move. The kids took a lot of ownership in that. They're already asking me to do another one, which we're going to hopefully have done by the winter break. The Shorty Longy phoning video I did, that was the interactive branching assignment. Definitely, I wanted to do something purposeful for my classroom to just really make sure I get an understanding of how what I'm learning in this class can impact my everyday instruction. And that has become a literacy center-based piece on the computer. And my plan is that that'll go, onto my website for kids to work with at home, when we're done with it here. So my point is yes, everything I've learned, I've see is extremely valuable and beneficial to my kids, and I'm trying to get that immediately into what I'm doing on an everyday basis, and to see the impact from parents, the feedback from parents, and the impact on my students and their excitement over it is very reassuring for me on my end at the time and the energy, which is extensive, getting to know how to do these kinds of things, that it's paying off. My plan after this course wraps up next week, after a short breather and break, to enjoy something besides graduate schoolwork, is to continue the learning that I've done. And for example, the interactive branching, there's so much I would like to do in terms around my literacy groups, to do both in school and at home for that extended practice at home. And as I mentioned, doing some more of those tutorial videos for families and whatnot. So my point is, everything I'm learning, I've put into effect already into my classroom, and have now due to success, have plans to continue it, definitely for the rest of the year, into my regular teaching. 3 projects from my semester demonstrate my mastery of the AECT standards in the area of design and development. The 3 projects include my iWeb demonstration for 3rd grade students, my Phonics Boost parent tutorial, and my short E and long E interactive branching video for literacy work. All 3 of these projects have sound instructional purposes that are driven by the needs of the students in the school in which I work. I take the backwards design approach to this, and I begin with the end in mind. What is it I need students to do? And then work backwards from there, including how will they be assessed, what materials will be used. The design of these projects included very clear-cut storyboards, where I truly feel that from the beginning to the end of the semester, my storyboards became more clear, more precise, and more purposeful in every action that I did within my work. All 3 of these materials demonstrate sound instructional strategies in terms of using audio material, a balance of audio and visual material, as well as the vocabulary that's used in terms of the intended audience. So design and development standards are highlighted again in the iWeb Phonics Boost parent tutorial and the short E long E literacy interactive branching video that I completed, all with clear, succinct instructional purposes, and use of resources. So overall, this has been an unbelievable semester. Getting to know the many benefits and some disadvantages of YouTube, and I truly feel that I can make a case for it now within my school, and have been given a little more leniency in terms of being able to access YouTube material for my school, and hopefully to be able to advocate for that district-wide, with proper education to both staff and students. But in a nutshell, I've learned a tremendous amount of new skills to bring to my students also, and for both personal and professional use, when talking about the entire YouTube community and what that looks like. So thank you for an awesome semester, and I'm ready for the break. Happy holidays.